Hi, I'm Tom Rako, and I have with me Latte. Her legal name is Guardrail Ivory Arrow. And since we were here last time, we had kind of an adventure, not a very fun adventure. On January 2nd, 2025, I was pheasant hunting out in South Dakota and was hunting with my good friend Travis Bod. And we were hunting in kind of a remote area. And after we got through hunting for a while, Travis needed to go pick up his son. So uh, another friend, Patrick, he was ice fishing and he was hearing pheasants. He was the only person out there ice fishing along the Missouri River there in that area. And so I decided I was going to go and pursue those pheasants. I'd not hunted there before. And so I let two of the pointers out, Latte and Favor, Guardrail Platinum Arrow. And we went around the side of the hill. I saw where Patrick was set up. He didn't know I was there out on the ice. And so I figured they must be near there. So I was hunting around the hillside and kind of went down to a spillover. And there was ice. And actually, I walked on it, saw deer tracks going across it. But then I saw further down there was open water, probably about 100 yards. So I uh, whistled to the dogs and started heading back. And next thing, Latte broke through, and she was trying to get out, and I was trying to holler at her to coax her to come, and I made my way down along the bank, and what I thought was a bank, it was weeds I was walking through, and she wasn't that far away. I was trying to get her. She kept breaking through or couldn't get out, and she was wearing out. It was about 20 degrees out, 19, 20 degrees, and the water was cold, and I could tell that she was starting to struggle. And you know, if a dog breaks through the ice, the experts say to call 911 or to get some help that, so you can safely, with the ladders or whatever, to help get a dog out. Well, I had nobody around. There was not the time. And I did something pretty foolish. So this is a warning, but I love my dog. But, a dog uh, is valuable, mostly sentimental. There's all kinds of reasons, whether it's a rare breed or the lineage, the pedigree, or the degree of training, or all types of things like that. But according to the Bible, they're not as valued as a human. Humans are made in the image of God. Well, my heart kind of overtook my head, and next thing, it was almost surreal. I put my shotgun in the weeds there and stretched out on the ice, trying to call to her. I had my arms out kind of like on a cross to distribute my weight, and then I kind of wormed my way out. Wasn't very far. And then as I got close to where she was at, I put my arms together and wiggled a little further and called her. She was starting to really thrash around. She was getting weaker, and it was cold, and didn't take all that long. And she got close enough. I touched the collar, and just like that, that was enough. The ice caved in, and it was just like that. We were both underwater, and I did not touch the bottom. I don't know how deep it was. I didn't think it was all that deep, but I was not touching bottom. Came up. I see a little scar here. I'm going to be playing a little video that I shot right after. I didn't realize it. I had my action camera on, and I didn't have it running, but I forgot to take that off, and that's lost. And I was about 300 yards from the car. We got back to the car, and I shot a little video. But according to the Bible, humans alone have been made in the image of God. God values all creatures, and I have a special love for dogs, and they're extremely valuable to me. But James 3:9 says humans have been made in the image of God. And in Matthew chapter 12, Jesus one time entered a synagogue, and there was a man with a shriveled hand. And some of the synagogue people, that was a place of worship and teaching, they didn't think you should do things on the Sabbath. And so they were judging Jesus as about doing things on the Sabbath. And he said to them, if any of you has a sheep and it falls into a pit on the Sabbath, will you not take hold of it and lift it out? How much more valuable is a person than a sheep? Therefore, it is lawful to do good on the Sabbath. Matthew 12:11-12. And I think of how in Luke 12:6, Jesus told his disciples, he says, are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 pennies, yet not one of them is forgotten by God. Indeed, the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Don't be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows. And, you are of great value to God. You are precious to him. Even if nobody else seems to value you, oh, you are valued by God. And I value this dog, and it ended up being an okay story, but I hope this will be a warning. I end up banging my head. I'm healing up pretty good. Had a few scratches from the ice, and we made it back. But even when I got back to where my gun was, things were still caving away, and I was in fairly deep water when I laid the gun down and didn't realize my gun went under the water. I did retrieve that as I was coming out. Actually, I heard Favor splash. He went in. As soon as just as I was getting out, I thought, "Oh no!" And he was able to make it out himself. I think the weeds there, but he went in pretty deep too. And I was not familiar with the area, and ice fishing out, but just because it's solid in one part, it doesn't mean it's solid all over. Jesus said, what good will it do for someone to gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what can a man give in exchange for a soul? What can a woman give in exchange for their soul? Matthew 16:26. This dog is very valuable to me, but humans alone have been made in God's image, and God cares for all creatures. Every creature has an intrinsic value because God created them. And so you'll see a little video, and I'll also include here the place where it took place. I shot a little video. I'm thankful for my friend Travis and for Patrick. He followed me back to civilization, I guess. And another friend, Joseph, he was going to cook soup for me to get me warmed up, and so I'm thankful for good friends as well. But this has been Tom Rako and Latte, Guardrail Ivory Arrow, and hope that you'll have safe hunting and be wise, wiser than I was. Okay. Latte and Favor, and we had kind of a close call there, so this is probably a warning to everybody. But Latte broke through and struggling quite a while, so I wasn't that far, but I put my gun down and went to stretch out, and I got stretched out okay, but when I grabbed her collar, we went down and under, and I had a camera in my head at one point, and it's no longer there. I have a very wet gun, because even coming back breaking, it started breaking all the way, so I was standing on the 30 seconds earlier. But so be careful. I was not trying to hunt toward open water. I was not. There's ice fishermen around, and I was not on the water. I was next to it, but when the dog went through, that's the way it is. So anyway, so I'd better give this part of my South Dakota trip, include it too.